Thank you for joining us on Hexagon TV. I'm your host, Mark Durbin, and today we're discussing agriculture in the era of IoT and augmented connectivity with Adriano Naspolini from Hexagon Agriculture, Asif Rana from Hexagon, Doug Smoland from Hexagon Ventures, and Bernardo de Castro from Hexagon Agriculture. Thanks for joining us. Adriano, how do you see the cloud systems infrastructure today and how they're evolving?
We already made great strides on this architecture. Scalability and availability are now or were keywords in the past, and they are already the status quo. So we migrated from a client-server infrastructure to somewhere where microservices are now the keywords. The problems we have of processing of availability itself are now over, or mostly over, but there are still something that we need to address sometimes. Like, for example, in agriculture, far from the cities, we have a throughput of 1/10 or maybe less than what we have in cities. So this is critical for agriculture. So because of our applications are highly critical due to costs, not lives, but they are critical. We cannot rely on links. We need to have always some kind of fallback to something else. Okay. So we have on-premises installations, and we have most part of the job being done by the edge. Our equipments have intelligence; they can do most part of the job in field. Okay. Some decision-making are done in field. Some others need to go to the cloud before doing that. So when you lose link, sometimes you lose part of the intelligence, but you still keep the most critical part in the edge working. Okay. For the same reason, in the same customers, we sometimes have Wi-Fi connection, we have 3G or 4G, we have satellite, we have long and short range radios. So it's a mixture. And for the future, we think that our solution won't be only in the cloud, it won't be only in the edge, it will be a hybrid solution. And not just in talking about the place, but it will be hybrid in storage, it will be hybrid in communication, and it will be hybrid in processing power. Okay, yeah,
that's interesting, thanks. Asif, can you talk to us about how we currently use augmented connectivity to create value for our customers in Hexagon?
Absolutely. So the smart solutions in today's world, they are fundamentally about getting real-time information from all elements of a solution. For example, in agriculture, this means the sensors and the vehicles on the farm and everything that's about it, including also the operations in the middle where those produce are brought. So if we collect all this data and then we run some analytics on it, the result is increased productivity through optimized workflows. This is, I would say, is at the heart of such smart operations. And this is also what we have done in the form of the agron logistics. So using Hexagon Smart Convergence, we have enabled bidirectional workflows between the edge, in this case the farm vehicles and harvesters, and everything that's working there, and between the mission control. And mission control in this case is the factory where the produce are brought. Okay. Through this whole distributed deployment, we have enabled highly optimized workflows, and we have seen increase in the productivity. And most of it is also the value that we have generated in a very flexible architecture. So if tomorrow the customer needs are changing, Hexagon Smart Convergence can also be reconfigured to create new and still more optimized workflows.
Bernardo, can you explain how important these technologies are to Hexagon Agriculture?
Yeah, sure, Mark. Agron logistics, the example that Asif gave before, this is a core of technology in our portfolio nowadays. So we recently launched this technology, and it relies on connectivity and data analytics. We are talking about, in most of our customers, we are talking about thousands of devices in the field that needs to be monitored, and we need this intelligence in these devices to support the solutions we are bringing to the customers and to support a more rich and reliable information to get to make all the planning, the management, and the optimization solutions that we offer, that the solution offer for them. So as I said, and these devices doesn't only make any sort of reading or automation of the machine, they also need to be really smart to take their own decisions and start to help the process overall.
Okay, yeah, thanks. So Doug, as a former farmer, with your experience in the industry, what's the value of IoT that you see for farmers in practice?
Well, you see, Mark, farming hasn't changed in hundreds of years. It's still a farmer trying to make the very best decisions he can on what to grow, how to grow it, and hopefully he gets a good harvest. You know, historically, 100 years ago, a farmer would go outside and look at the sky to see what the weather was going to be like. And as we started to move into weather forecasting and then the internet and radio and things like that. And in the end, all it did was bring the decision, the information closer to the time of decision. And what my colleagues were talking about here is all based on one thing, is giving the farmer or the person actually making the decision and investing his money, whether it be a very, very small farm, you know, for just a single family farm, or a huge conglomerate corporate farm. The key to this whole thing is getting your information as accurate as you can and as close to the decision point as you can. Thus, you can make a more educated and wise decision. Now, as my colleagues were also talking about, we are also allowing our devices, our sensors, our algorithms to think in a lot of different ways that a farmer couldn't necessarily think in. There's patterns and things that our modern algorithms recognize that a farmer would know, but he could not process as fast as what we are doing today in agriculture. So in the end, what Hexagon Agriculture is doing is trying to enable the farmer, the actual gentleman that's investing his money into the ground, which could be very many millions of dollars, into making the wisest and most applicable decisions for his farm so that he becomes profitable. And this is the secret of what we are trying to do within this organization, is just help the farmer get better and better information so he can do a better job in productivity, in environmental stewardship, in management, and ultimately in a profitable harvest. So that's what the Internet of Things means to a farmer.
Yes, sounds pretty good. I'd like to thank all the guests, Doug, Asif, Adriano, and Bernardo. For more about Hexagon, please visit hexagon.com. For more about HxGN TV or for further episodes, please visit hxgntv.com. Thanks for watching.